I'd like to talk to you this morning about, I chose the topic of, excuse me, planting seeds. I chose that song because I thought it was quite fitting. Energy follows thought. And our thoughts are always planting seeds. Whether we're aware of it or not, it is the way it is. We have planted a myriad of seeds in this incarnation so far. And if we were, we'll talk about a metaphoric garden. If we were to look out at that garden, we're going to see many beautiful plantings, flowers, but we will also see weeds. And those are our miscreations, our misthoughts. Those that we have not known better to guard them more closely, to manifest what we really desire. So every, I'm going to call them negative thoughts, but really they're just misthoughts rather than negative, positive. But it is a way of explaining. Every one of our misthoughts that are judging ourselves or judging others, we're planting seeds. And that energy goes out into the universe and calls forth the manifestation of those thoughts. So if we look out at our garden and we see that there are more weeds than we really desire to have there, it's all okay. It's all beautiful. It's all perfect. But we might now want to become more conscious of what we're doing and look out at that garden and say, you know what? I think I'm going to roll up my sleeves and I'm going to pull some of those weeds. And we think that the process is difficult. And it is the more serious we are about it. But if we can lighten up and look at it as a joyful experience, something we can have an opportunity to say, this weed was here because of this or that, or represents this or that. And as I pull it, I'm going to pull it with love. And the way we do that is by training our minds, and we have to work at this every day. I know I do, to catch every unloving thought that passes through our mind and change it to a more positive, a more loving thought. So if you're walking by the mirror and you look at yourself and you think, God, I'm overweight, catch that immediately. I am perfect. I am love. And I love myself. This is powerful, powerful. It's not difficult, and it's powerful. Instead of thoughts, I don't have enough money at this time, or I want more money, we change that thought to, I have all that I need, and there's more where that came from. That's one of my favorite. I've been saying that for years because I truly know that source is my supply. So when anything good comes into my life, if it's, I get my Social Security check, I smile and I deposit it and I say, there's more where that came from. We need to change our thoughts so that we are planting seeds of love, seeds of prosperity, seeds of kindness, things that we want to manifest. We want more love in our life. Well, if we don't acknowledge that we're it, it's not coming. Believe me, it's when we recognize I'm it. I'm everything I need right now in this moment. The doors fly open. And if you are single, there may be somebody waiting for you. It may be that the plan, the divine plan, is that you are going to grow by giant leaps and bounds without a partner spiritually. You may grow by giant leaps and bounds with a partner spiritually, but that's only going to happen with the right partner. And the right partner doesn't mean the one that's going to come in and make you the most happy. The right partner is the one that's going to come in, stand by your side, and show you all the things you need to look at. You know that old saying, don't shoot the messenger? It's a tough one. There's times we want to punch it right in the nose. But that messenger is there to help us weed that garden and plant new seeds. That's planting seeds of love, planting seeds of prosperity, of kindness, compassion. But we have to begin by looking at our very thoughts that are running through our mind every day, all day long. And it's none of this is right, wrong, good, or bad. It's simply, what do you want for yourself? Do you want to catch these thoughts? Do you want to change them into something more favorable, more desirable, what you are trying to actually create? Because we are powerful creators. We are created in the image and likeness of the source of our being. And you know what? We can be playful with that. At first, I remember, I was so hard on myself. It's like, I want to get this. I want to get it, and I want to get it now. But the harder we try, it seems to slip away from us. But when we lighten up, actually let ourselves lighten up, put a smile on our face. Happiness is internal. We find things outside of ourselves that might make us happy temporarily, but they also fade. The happiness fades away. And the ego thought system wants us to find another thing that we have to be happy. Now, this is true. So happiness is something within us. It's part of our birthright. So why not be happy and catch these missed thoughts? Be playful with ourselves. And, I have a lot of friends who happen to be single. And I have a lot of friends that happen to be married. Some of them want a better relationship with their partner. Some of them want to draw into their life a partner. But if you listen to the things that they say, and you can only imagine what's going on in their own mind silently, they're not putting out the red carpet and drawing it into themselves. They're not doing it. We must trust that God has a plan for us. And we have to stop trying to stop it from happening. That's what we do. When we are not thinking positively and lovingly about ourselves, and of course that has to extend out to others, because those are the seeds we want to plant, then we can trust God's plan for us. That is, happiness is what the source wants. The source, the mother, father, that divine energy wants for us. We can trust that. I know for a fact that I can look through my entire life and see how many times something didn't come into my life that I thought I wanted. And I look back now and say, thank God. Thank God. And there are things that, the more we practice this and the lighter we become and the more joyful we become in our practice, it's interesting, the more clarity we get. the more in tune we get. If you want to be more in tune with that guidance system within you, lighten up, be happy, be playful, and just don't judge yourself and not judge others. Right now, one of my practices is, and I'm just going to share this with you, is something will pop into my mind about somebody else and I'll say, none of my business. It's none of my business. My business is right here with Paula. It is wanting to be a clear co-creator, creating what I truly want in my life with the divine. And I don't want anything that isn't in my highest good. And I know that if you really search deeply within yourselves, you're going to say the same thing. I don't want anything that's not in my highest good. I don't want to struggle. I don't want to fight anymore. I want to relax into this life. I want to start enjoying it. And those things that come to us that are going to challenge us, again, and I've said this many times to you, it's an opportunity. And if we don't beat ourselves up over the seeds we've planted, those weeds that are going to show up in our life, if we don't beat ourselves up over it, and we say, I'm going to relax into this, I'm going to pull this weed, and I'm going to plant another seed that's going to love and support me so that I flourish and I evolve as a spiritual being, not just a human being. The source doesn't want for us to suffer. The source wants us to be happy. The source of our being wants us to be abundant. But abundance comes in many, many ways. If we look around and we will see people who don't have much and are so happy. We see people that have a lot and are unhappy. And we see people who have a lot and are very happy. And people who don't and are miserable. What do you think's going on there? They're lazy. If they don't have what they want, they're lazy. And don't shoot the messenger here. Don't throw tomatoes at me. We can't be spiritually lazy. We have to be willing to change our thoughts, to look out at that garden and say, wow, this is a magnificent garden. I'd rather see more flowers than weeds. So I'm going to get serious only about playfully lightening up and changing my thoughts so that I can change my reality, this temporary experience I'm having here. Because when we do transition, we want to know, and we will in our hearts, everything we accomplished here. And it will be a glorious celebration of the accomplishments. And the things that you judge to be unworthy, that is not an accomplishment in your life, is probably one of the greatest accomplishments you have endured. A nasty divorce can be one of the greatest accomplishments that you came here to move through. You can be wearing a gold star when you leave here, having gone through that trauma. And some of our happiest moments are actually the best for us. I love you all. And I'm going to ask you to please look at that garden, plant seeds of love and kindness, especially to yourself. When you look into the mirror, you see the beauty looking into your own eyes, because that's the divine you will see in yourself. And that is what will bring the light into this world. It all begins with us. I leave this with you today with love and light because I do love you all. Amen.